initiatives. In this way, we can see overall India is actively embracing the AI technologies across various sectors, driven by both government initiatives and private sectors. With its vast talent pool and growing technological infrastructure, India is poised to play a significant role in the global AI landscape. Further, the examination of India AI policies underscores the predominant focus and economic benefit derived from AI adoption, with comparatively less emphasis and established with a robust legal and regulatory framework. Further, I would like to talk about the use of AI in Indian law and legal profession. The Indian legal profession has historically evolved through various technological advancements from typewriter to computer, and now it is stand to bring the embracing artificial intelligence as the next transformative tool. Despite being one of the largest legal service market globally, India's legal sector has been slow to digitalize in operation. However, there is growing recognition of AI potential and revolutioning legal work and enhance access to justice. In the coming years, advanced law firms will prioritize the client-centric innovations such as performance-based pricing models to deliver cost-effective legal solutions. They will also shift their focus from revenue growth to profitabilization and leverage AI-based technologies to improve efficiency and enhance the brand value. At last, I conclude my paper in this word that artificial intelligence and innovation hold immense potential to revolutionize the legal landscape in India, as evidenced by the historical evolution of the legal profession and the increasing recognition of AI benefits. Despite initial resistance, there is a growing acknowledgement of AI's capacity to enhance access to justice, streamline legal operation, and elevate client service to standard. At last, currently, artificial intelligence applications span various legal domains, including due diligence, legal research, and intellectual property analysis, offering increased efficiency and accuracy. This is all from my side. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Ms. Priyanka Dahiya. थैंक यू मैम, थैंक यू। रश्मि सिन्हा। Not audible. Okay. क्लियर आवाज ही नहीं है। एनी प्रॉब्लम? ओके ओके, लैपटॉप इतना देख लें, 2 मिनट देख लें। नेक्स्ट पेज है। होल्ड फॉर फ्यू मिनट। पारुल गुप्ता।
The success of artificial intelligence is on the hands of controller. So artificial intelligence is a machine-based or computer-based machine which is controlled by human man or human being. So the topic of my paper is the effect of artificial intelligence in women's life. So we know that the artificial intelligence have some positive or negative impacts both. So there are if we talk about the positive effects of artificial intelligence in women's life, the fast and accurate diagnostic. IBM's Watson computer has been used to diagnose with the fascinating result. Everything depends on artificial intelligence. It will give a good result and fast and accurate result. It is effective and it will work effectively and efficiently. It reduces errors related to human fatigue. Artificial intelligence weighs surgical contribution also. Or artificial intelligence, but the virtual presence technology can enable a distant diagnostic of the diseases. So there are negative effect also, the misuse of AI in the women's life. If we talk about, let's see the negative impacts of AI will have on women in society. A huge social change that disrupt the way they live in their community will occur, humankind has to be industrious to make their living. But with the service of AI, we can just program the machine to do a thing for us without even lifting a tool. Human closeness will gradually diminishing as AI will replace the need for people to meet face to face for idea exchange. AI will stand in between people as the personal gathering, as will no longer be needed for communication. So women face a problem who are sole earner of their family. They eliminate from the companies for the work or reduce their pay. AI make women lethargic. It can cause various health issues too. Unemployment is the next because many works will be replaced by machinery. Today, many automobile assembly lines have been filed with machineries only. Wealth inequality will be created as the investors of AI will take up the major share of the earnings. The gap between the rich and the poor will be widened. New uses surface not only in social sense, but also in AI itself, as the AI being trained and learned how to operate the given task can eventually take off. The human master who create AI may invent something that is racial bias oriented to harm certain people or things. The UN has voted to limit the spread of nuclear power in fear of its indiscriminate use of destroying humankind. There are many cases we heard about the misuse of AI by making deep fake faces, photos, videos, and circulate on social media. Destroy their goodwill, which causes mental illness to a woman. As I talked recently cases about Rashmika Mandana or Alia Bhatt case, they destroy their goodwill by using the AI. AI is called as people helper, but it is a more problem maker for women. As we know, we are in India. There are 24.4% of women-related cases filed in courts of India, sexual harassment and violation of privacy related to women, or it is done by the help of AI only. Or it will, if we completely rely on AI, it will increase the number of cases of sexual harassment and violation of privacy in courts. Reality of biasness and discrimination because of AI, because AI is a machine. If we provide gender discrimination, to AI is completely one of the reasons create biasness among gender between male and female. So my suggestions to stop the misuse of AI, avoid biasness in AI. AI learn bias from the data it's trained on, which means researchers have to be really careful about how they gather and treat that data. Because women's privacy is very important in India. If AI got in wrong hands, incautious work, so it will destroy the privacy of women. Training and campaigns is mandatory for the use of AI. Or special laws can be passed by the government on AI. The punishment should be more severe than other laws because AI offenses destroy the goodwill. If we talk about the misuse of AI, AI ethical guidelines is if the government can monitoring AI with the privacy and security in mind. Security measures should be implemented to protect against cyber attacks and other malicious uses of AI. This can include encrypting data using firewall and intrusion detection system. Educating the public about AI, this will also help the benefits of AI. So conclusion of my paper is artificial intelligence is helpful for the women in society. It works very efficiently, effectively. It reduces the chances of error of laws. But AI fails in it and provide facility to conduct the offense against women very easily. It provides the private information to anyone, although AI can be recognized the person whom data should be shared or not. Because AI is a just machine-based system. So my end of the line says artificial intelligence is called as problem solver with the advancement of technological development. But when the completely rely on the AI, it will be the problem creator only. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Miss Rasmi Sinha. स्टार्ट करिए. यस यस.
So, a very pleasant morning to each one of you. This is Lakshmi Sinha, second semester student from Sanskrit National Law University, Patna, and I am here to present my paper titled Legal Implications of AI, Addressing Concerns and Regulatory Measures in India. So, introducing my paper, I would say that artificial intelligence is much in vogue in present time in almost every field. The reason perhaps would be The existing laws pertaining to data privacy, intellectual property, criminal liability, motor vehicles, etc. do not contain provisions related to AI. Existing law do not mention any remedy in case of wrong committed by AI. Therefore, a precise and comprehensive regulations are necessary to govern the development, execution, and use of AI systems in the legal domain. Now, concluding my paper, I would suggest that firstly, laws and regulatory mechanisms should be brought into place for fixing the liability of AI. And secondly, there should be some control over the data and information that is at the disposal of AI. AI can never replace humans and therefore should not be accorded any personality. Its brain and intelligence cannot be equivalent to human brain. And therefore, for whatever it does, liability should better be on someone. Thank you.
Thank you. Miss Ananya Singh, Mr. Harsh Srivastava.
Hello, hello.
A very good morning to all the panelists and teachers and fellow speakers. I, Ananya Singh, along with my co-speaker Harsh Srivastava, final year students of BLLB course, will be presenting on the topic AI at the Bar, Legal Implications and Regulations for AI Technologies in India. This PPT shall be dealing with the following. What is artificial intelligence? Significance of AI in India, practical uses of AI in legal field, its benefits, challenges posed by AI, legal personality of AI, legal implications of AI in India, current regulations and policies governing AI in India, gaps and challenges posed by them, AI laws in other countries, and including the recommendations. Now, let's discuss in very brief what is artificial intelligence. AI is the use of computer systems to simulate human mental processes such as interpreting and generating language. Now, discussing about AI history and evolution, it dates back in 1936, which was developed by Alan Turing, and the term artificial intelligence was coined by John McCarthy in 1956. And in India, it developed in 1960s. Now, with the growing technological advancements, the use of artificial intelligence is basically in all facets and areas of our lives, which basically includes DigiLocker, smart assistants, e-payments, Coven platform, Umang app, Aadhaar, navigation apps, facial recognition, UPI, and chatbots, etc. Now, what are the practical uses of AI in legal field? Then it can be used in due diligence, predictive technologies, legal analytics, document automation, intellectual property analysis, electronic billing, unbiased legal system, speeding up of legal processes, and then it again makes it easier for people who aren't lawyers to communicate with lawyers. Benefits of AI for the legal system. It can be used in legal research work, it can be used in verifying documents in less time. Then again, it can be used in document management and automation. It can be used in increased productivity. AI in law produces more accurate and higher quality work. It improves organizational and logical structure. What problems can AI pose? Then again, integrating AI in health services and other services can raise ethical concerns. Bias in AI can also create biases in marginalized sectors. Then again, AI integration is a rising problem. Computing power, data privacy and security, legal issues, AI transparency, limited AI knowledge, AI explainability, discrimination, high expectations, implementation strategies, data confidentiality, and software malfunction. Legal personality of AI in legal industry. AI entities are not currently recognized as legal persons under the law. Now, without legal recognition, AI cannot be held accountable under the law, and concerns arise regarding the capability of AI to fulfill duties and obligations. Though certain provisions of the Information Technology Act 2000 and the Indian Evidence Act 1872 provide about electronic contracts and digital signatures. Now, these provisions are Section 10A of the IT Act, Section 85A, 85B, 88A, and 90A of the Evidence Act 1872. Further slides shall be dealt by my co-speaker Harsh.
Thank you, Ananya. We'll further move to our next slide, which shows the legal implications of artificial intelligence in India, in which we have certain subheadings, which shows, first of all, the data privacy and protection. As we all are well versed and well conversant that our government is working on the data protection bill, which says about the Personal Data Protection Act. And next, we'll further move to the liability and accountability. The most prominent question in nowadays regarding artificial intelligence is who the author and who will be responsible and accountable for the actions done by the AI. Next, we'll discuss about the intellectual property rights. The India's intellectual property law may need updates to tackle the complexities of artificial intelligence generated contents and invention, including the patentability and ownership issues. As we further move to the next point, that is discrimination and biases. Indian anti-discrimination laws may need application to prevent bias AI outcomes in hiring, lending, and criminal justice system. Regulatory compliances. The AI applications in industries like healthcare, finance, and transportation must comply with sector-specific regulations for consumer protection and public safety. We have the example of Tesla, which is working on AI-generated transportation facility. You all are must aware of this thing. Further we move to the ethical and social ground. The India must require ethical guidelines for responsible artificial intelligence development to address the concerns about its impact on employment, human rights, and social equity. And last but not least, the access to justice. The legal framework must ensure equitability, AI tool access to all stakeholders, enhancing justice accessible. Further, we move to the next slide. The current regulations and policies governing artificial intelligence in India. So we'll start discussing this as defining principles and frameworks. The national strategy for artificial intelligence is further divided into two subparts. Part 1, the principle for responsible AI, and the operationalizing principles for responsible AI. And as I previously said about the Digital Personal Data Protection Act 2023, further the Global Partnership of Artificial Intelligence and International Collaborations, the GPAI Summit 2023, focusing on the responsible AI development and addressing global challenges like climate change and health. I would like to draw your attention towards a NASSCOM report of 2023, which says that India ranked first in AI invention and generation in the present time. Further, we have the international opportunities such as despite ongoing uncertainty, India's artificial intelligence sector sees continuous growth with partnership between companies like General Automatics and furthermore. Now, I would like to tell you about what the perspective Indian government and Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology have about the AI. The ministry release a non-supervisory report which concerns about the artificial intelligence in India, which oversees the development and implementation of AI regulation guidelines in India. In the previous date, in the recent parliament session, the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology announced that companies which are deploying or developing the artificial intelligence model must now obtain a prior approval from the ministry itself so as to maintain and establish a check and balance over the companies and author who are generating AI, sir. Now we'll further move to our next slide, which is about the gap and challenges in current legal framework in India in regarding AIs. So we have the insufficiency of comprehensive artificial intelligence specific legislation. As we all are well aware that India is not having any specific legislation which deals with the artificial intelligence now. The absence of clear and enforceable ethical guidelines. We don't have the ethical guidelines. We don't have any judicial precedent regarding artificial intelligence. The bias and discrimination concerns are the major concerns regarding artificial intelligence, sir. The accountability and liability challenges, as I said, sir, for suppose if any offense occurred, who will be responsible for that offense? If that offense has occurred through the medium of the AI, is the responsible author of the AI will take the charges, or the person who is using that AI will take the charges? The lack of sufficient regulatory oversight. Our government is working on making the regulations regarding AI, but currently we are not having any kind of specific regulations regarding AI. And the intellectual property rights issues, which are again the major part of discussion. We can observe the Western nations, such as European Union, which is governing its artificial intelligence through a regulation called General Data Protection Regulation, which emphasizes the ethical principles and sector-specific impacts involving the liability framework and international collaboration through forums at international platforms like Global Partnership on Artificial Intelligence. We have certain examples, illustrations. I'm concluding, sir. We have certain examples such as one case is being occurred in the US that 2 US lawyers were fined for submitting fake court citation using ChatGPT. So on conclusion, we would like to end up with certain recommendations, sir. Hello. The recommendations are, first of all, we have to make the provisions regarding stakeholder engagements. The person who are making and generating artificial intelligence, they have to be regulated. Second, the government or the authorities must place the ethical guidelines before generating the artificial intelligence. Third, that is the most important, the data protection. Fourth, the sector-specific regulations. For suppose sector to sector, the artificial intelligence must vary from sector to sector. For suppose healthcare sector must compasses a specific artificial intelligence. Next, we'll move to the transparency and explainability. The credit of what particular author is making must be disclosed to the administering authorities. The capacity building, capacity building is, of course, a major issue because the human capital formation of a country is comparatively lesser than the robotics working of any specific sector. Then we have the international collaborations, the innovation and entrepreneurship, and at the last but not least, the monitoring and evaluation facility of the administrative authorities must ensure the usage of artificial intelligence in the India. I would like to conclude with the statement of our respected Honorable CGI sir. He said that AI will never replace judges or judicial officers, but will surely provide aid and assistance in judgment making process to make it effective. So this is our conclusion. I would like to owe a special regards to all the teams and special V sir for organizing such a wonderful conference and inviting us. Thank you so much.
Harsh and Nadanya, thanks. Satyam Chauhan and Khushi Sharma.
Sorry for the inconvenience.
Sorry for the inconvenience. Good morning, everyone, and all present here, the panel members, the dignitaries, and the fellow speakers. It's still not sharing. Okay, there is more technical issues. We will deal with this only. This is our first slide. The topic for this, the rise of artificial intelligence in the field of legal services and societies. Here, I am Khushi Sharma and Mr. Satyam Singh Chauhan. We both from BVD University pursuing BA LLB, presenting the article in front of all of these. The article had a title, The Rise of Artificial Intelligence. As the AI is rising in this world now and rising in the field of legal services and practices. This contains the heading of introductions and many more. Firstly, we dealt with the first slide. As we have only 6 minutes, we have to deal it with more and more efficiently. The introduction to artificial intelligence, as the Henry Ford, the owner of Ford, everyone knows the cars are the faster and the fastest and fastest. The Henry Ford said that if I ask the peoples what they want, they would say faster than the horses. And now in this world, AI is using because they are efficient in use and making the world very efficient, making everything simpler. The AI in cooperation with legal system is reshaping the way of law is practiced and administered. The AI technologies are revolutionizing the legal system, the case analysis, the decision making, making the process. However, the transformation also presents the challenges as transparency, accountability, and many more. The next slides we have the AI revolution in legal research. Now we have the legal research as the main focus of AI. AI is not a new word. From very beginning, the Alan Turing used the word, the father of AI. But now, last 60 years, the AI research, how the actually development is seen. The AI evolution is termed from the last 60 years. Within a few months of ChatGPT, the ChatGPT is released on November 2022. Within a few months, it gets too much hype in the set. Even the Google take this responsibility that 629 million views on the ChatGPT. This is a hype created there. The AI revolution created there. The Reserve Bank of India. The Reserve Bank of India is created as the brought a discussion paper. The Reserve Bank of India brought a discussion paper is a great thing that artificial intelligence in the financial services. Financial sector is maintaining the artificial intelligence. Similarly, the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, where the doctors are getting replaced by AI. Is that possible that doctors are getting replaced by AI because there is but a doctor needs some presence of time, how they deal with a child, how they deal with the older person. This is the factors that AI doesn't know about this. Still, the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare government produced National Digital Health Blueprint Regulatory with a framework. Also, next slide we're telling about what will be the shape of future in legal system if we use AI. The artificial intelligence, the key individuals in the future will be a lot of alternative dispute resolution, case management, compliances, contract reviews, contract management, document reviews, e-discoveries, legal advices, legal analysis, as AI is 24/7 available for everyone. It is automated legal service, consists of advices, contract review manager, cost efficient. The most implication is provided here, the cost efficiency. Everyone, the poor and have now mobiles these days and have ChatGPT, they can search and they can take a contract review within a minute. That is the future for the AI in legal services. Still, the AI system is likely to happen more efficient quickly within a 5 to 10 years in this system. Then legal for shaping the future, in fact, our Supreme Court has an AI committee these days with the focus of translation of legal documents. The translator we have from Hindi to English, English to Hindi, the man's working in the Supreme Court, but now we have AI for translating them. This is our Supreme taking the AI into the future for legal services. Even our CGI commented on the artificial intelligence that such technologies that promote efficiency, transparency, and objective should become a facilitative tool for judges. Next slide, we are having the accessibility and affordability of AI. As the accessibility and affordability, I said previously that it will be a more affordable for the poor and even everyone who have mobiles, they can type anything on case management. Then nowadays the students do this for any assignment. They type on ChatGPT that I want this assignment in this word, or they are not that clever. They've typed also without plagiarism. That without plagiarism I would get no plag. ChatGPT will type this. This is how AI is getting used. This is how the accessibility is getting used. The teachers also, sorry to say, but teachers also sometimes say that this particular question, give 50 repetition of this. 50 repetition of this similar question with variations. ChatGPT can easily maintain this. This is the accessibility, how we can use it. This is the accessibility also we can in legal services. The contract agreements, we type that. The AI can manage it very, very accessible. Still in the R. Kalyani case law, it is said that AI cannot replace the legal professions. The Supreme Court has been utilizing these tools. This is, the tools has been utilizing their SUAS. As the honorable judges know, that Supreme Court Vedic, Anuvedic software as a translating software has been installed in Supreme Court for the first time. This is how Supreme Court is using the AI for shaping the legal feature, accessibility, accountability, and many more things. Next, the impact on employment. If we are using AI that too much, it will impact on the employment. Still in the case of state of Maharashtra versus Dr. Praful, it is said that the court have stated clearly legal decision cannot be left on AI boards like ChatGPT, and AI cannot replace a human judge. Next slide, we are having the effect to the legal framework. The effect to the legal framework we have seen in many ways, like the digital personal data protection. The most of the thing in AI is the data protection and the intellectual property law, the information technology law. Data is the very, very safer thing we have, but the AI demands more and more data we can have. That would infringe our privacy also. The next slide we are having is the case analysis. After having the cases, we turn to the AI. The case of Anil Kapoor versus AI, the first landmark cases where the judgment ruling that AI cannot replace the judges and the lawyers. There are too many cases like that. Uber India system case, the All India Gaming Federation. Still, after that, we have the challenges. The most of the challenging AI is that AI can produce false information. So in the Canada recent analysis, a boy of 10 years using the ChatGPT and typed on this that I want this information. The Canada is, that ChatGPT replied wrong. The boy said it is wrong. The ChatGPT is repeatedly confirming it. No, it's a good, it's correct information. That is how the challenges are produced there. The ChatGPT recently in Police of Delhi, section 47, section 46, 469, many more cases are going there only because of harming of this ChatGPT. These are the challenges in front of India, and for this, India also didn't have any specific laws to deal with this. How they will deal with this? This is the challenges we are facing. The intellectual property theft is the very vast challenge we have right now. The next slide we have, the privacy database and security. The privacy is one of the most important part of our life. Even if we are getting hurt, we don't show our emotions to anyone else. We don't want to say, we don't want to that pleasure that we don't want to so anyone think like if he get hurt, he didn't want to see that he is in pain. He will take it out. He don't want to take it out. That is the privacy we have, and the data security is very, very, very much thing in our system. There are three main important issues related to legal responsibility. Who will take the responsibility? Judges? No, they don't want. The lawyers? Why? They will take the responsibility. And the interns also didn't get the responsibility for that. Issues regarding to the freedom of expression. What will about the expression? What about the freedom of ours if the AI is getting everything? What we will do with this? Next, the issue pertaining to the protection of personal data. As in our personal data are very important thing. Even for a girl and a boy, even for any gender, the personal data is most important thing. We don't want to reveal that. That AI is taking implication onto that also, sir. The next, we are concluding with that in this AI era, the legal profession must navigate these challenges, opportunities, thoughtful with a focus of responsibilities and ethical AI use. As AI continues to shape the legal landscape, the choice made today will define the legal professions, futures, and profound the impact on the society at large. I would like to thank everyone for listening us. Any questions for the judges panel?
No, thank you. Next, Ananya Gupta.
Good morning, everyone. I am Ananya Gupta, BLLB 4th semester student of TRC Law College. As a curious mind and lifelong learner, I am thrilled to be a part of this seminar, where we can explore new ideas and perspective together. Let's dive in and make this experience memorable. The title I want to discuss is AI Frontier, Legal and Ethical Implications. Artificial intelligence has surpassed its role as a mere technological advancement and has become an integral part of various aspects of our lives. However, as AI continues to permeate deeper into society, it brings with countless legal and ethical implications that demand through examinations. This paper aims to delve into the frontier of AI, exploring its legal and ethical ramifications. Firstly, in the legal territory, AI poses significant challenges in terms of liability and accountability. Traditional legal frameworks struggle to assign responsibility when AI systems autonomously make decisions or cause harm. Who should be held liable when an autonomous vehicle crashes or when an AI-powered medical diagnosis goes awry? The lack of clear guidelines worsens the complexity of legal dispute in such cases. Additionally, issues like data privacy and intellectual property rights are brought to forefront with the proliferation of AI technologies. As artificial intelligence systems rely heavily on data, questions arise regarding ownership, consent, and the potential for misuse or unauthorized access to sensitive information. Ethically, AI introduces concerns related to bias and fairness. Machine learning algorithms, for instance, can maintain or even intensify existing societal biasness present in the data they are trained on. This raises questions about fairness and equity, particularly in domains like hiring, leading, and criminal justice, where AI-driven decisions can significantly impact individuals' life. Furthermore, the ethical use of AI extend to issue of transparency and accountability. As AI systems become increasingly complex and opaque, ensuring transparency in how they reach decisions became crucial for building trust and maintaining societal values. Moreover, AI's impact on employment and socio-economic structure cannot be overlooked. While AI promises increased efficiency and productivity, it also poses a threat of job displacement across various sectors. The ethical implications of this technological shift include considerations of equitable distributions of wealth, retaining and upskilling of the workforce, and fostering inclusive economic growth. Furthermore, AI exacerbates concerns about social inequality as access to AI technologies and the benefit they bring may not be evenly distributed, widening the gap between the haves and the have-not. In response to the legal and ethical challenges, policymakers, researchers, and industry stakeholders must collaborate to develop robust regulatory frameworks and ethical guidelines for the responsible development of AI technologies. This entails addressing issues of accountability, transparency, fairness, and inclusivity while balancing innovation and regulation. Additionally, interdisciplinary efforts involving ethicists, lawyers, technologists, and policymakers are crucial to navigating the complex landscape of AI ethics and law. In conclusion, the frontier of AI presents a complex landscape fraught with legal and ethical challenges. As AI technologies continue to evolve and permeate various aspects of society, it is imperative to address these challenges proactively. Navigating the legal and ethical implications of AI requires a versatile approach encompassing ethical, regulatory, and socio-economic consideration. By addressing issues of bias, privacy, transparency, and socio-economic impact, through proactive solution and collaborative efforts, we can harness the transformative potential of AI while safeguarding societal values and promoting inclusive prosperity. By fostering collaboration and dialogue among stakeholders, we can strive toward harnessing the transformative potential of AI while upholding legal principles and ethical values that safeguard the well-being of individuals and society as a whole. Thank you for the attention.
Thank you, Ananya. ये सेशन आज का सेशन ये यहाँ पर समाप्त हुआ। मैं चेयरपर्सन डॉक्टर अजय कुमार सिंह से कंक्लूजन के लिए निवेदन करूंगा कि आप सेशन का कंक्लूजन करें और सभी को धन्यवाद दें।
धन्यवाद अश्विनी जी और धन्यवाद वीर विक्रम जी और पूरी टीआरसी महाविद्यालय को भी और पूरी ऑर्गेनाइजिंग कमेटी को भी इस बात के लिए कि आप सब इतना बढ़िया एकेडमिक इवेंट को ऑर्गेनाइज किए। अवध की धरती जो इस समय बड़ा क्या कहते हैं सेंसिबल है, मतलब हाईलाइटेड है, पूरे नेशनल लेवल पे है, नेशनल ही नहीं बल्कि इंटरनेशनल लेवल पे आप कह सकते हैं कि अवध में राम आए हैं, ये सब चीज़ें चल रही हैं। लेकिन रामचंद्र जी के साथ साथ गुरु वशिष्ठ और वाल्मीकि वाली जो कथाएँ हैं, दीक्षा उक्षा वाली, वो नहीं चल पा रही हैं। तो ऐसे समय में, आधुनिक समय में टीआरसी की जो ऑर्गेनाइजिंग कमेटी है आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस पे आपने जो आयोजन किया, उसके लिए मैं बहुत बहुत आप लोगों को धन्यवाद देता हूं। और इस बात के लिए भी आपने हमको इसमें सहभागिता हेतु आमंत्रित किया, इसके लिए भी। जैसा कि हम लोग देख रहे थे इस टेक्निकल सेशन में जो टाइटल था लीगल इम्प्लीकेशन एंड आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस, मोस्ट ऑफ द जो पेपर प्रेजेंटर हम सब बहुत ही डायनेमिक थे, बहुत अच्छे से पेपर तैयार किया था सब विद्यार्थियों ने। और जो हमारे टीचिंग फैकल्टी भी जो वहाँ ICFI देहरादून से थे, बिहार से थे, कुछ बच्चे रिसर्च स्कॉलर जो वहाँ पे जयनारायण व्यास यूनिवर्सिटी जोधपुर से थे, और ये हमारे BBD के, और ये अन्य लास्ट जो रिप्रेजेंटेटिव थी अनन्या गुप्ता, इन्होंने भी बहुत अच्छे से दिया। सबका यही था आउटकम कि इसको एक प्रोसेसिंग में या किसी चीज़ के एक्सीलरेट करने में या इफिशियंसी में तो यूज़ हम कर सकते हैं, खास तौर से लीगल इम्प्लीकेशन या लीगल फील्ड में, या एज ए प्रोफेशनल कैसे इसको यूटिलाइज करें। तो हम उसके डेटाबेस को तैयार करने में, जैसे कि केस के जो डेटाबेस है उसका जो रेशियो डिसडेंडाई है, या उसमें जो माइनॉरिटी और एसेंट ओपिनियन है, या उसके जो सिस्टम का, इन सब चीज़ों में तो हम यूज़ कर सकते हैं। लेकिन यदि AI के बेस पे कोई कंक्लूजन ड्रा करने जाते हैं या रिट पिटीशन तैयार करने जाते हैं, तो उसमें रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी किसकी होगी? मैं पर्टिकुलर सिर्फ लीगल प्रोफेशन की बात कर रहा हूँ। क्या जज की होगी, या जो सॉफ्टवेयर क्रिएट किया उसकी होगी? हु इज रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर इनजस्टिस और एनी मतलब कि एडवर्स पोजीशन? तो ये रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी तय करना बड़ा मुश्किल है। और इसलिए देखिए CGI ने और मोस्ट ऑफ द पेपर प्रेजेंटर ने भी यही कंक्लूजन निकाला कि लीगल प्रोफेशन में जजेस का और बार का जो यूज है उसका सब्स्टिट्यूट अभी AI नहीं है। एक एक्सेलरेट करने के लिए असिस्टेंस आप ले सकते हैं, या किसी तरह का और ऑफिस असिस्टेंस ले सकते हैं जो इको फ्रेंडली हो सकता है, जो पेपर कम यूज हो आप कह सकते हैं, और उस तरीके से भी खर्च कम हो। दूसरा कि कोरोना के टाइम में आपने देखा था कि डिजिटल या वर्चुअल कोर्ट भी, हाई कोर्ट बेंचेस जब चली, उसमें भी किस तरीके से हम कर सकते थे। एक मतलब इस तरीके से आया कि मतलब कह सकते हैं कि अभूतपूर्व मतलब सिचुएशन आई थी कि कोर्ट को बंद करना पड़ा, और एक मतलब जनरल ऑर्डर निकाल के कि अगर बेल की ये तिथि है तो इतना बढ़ा दिया जाए, अगर स्टे है तो ये बढ़ा दिया, मतलब एक कॉमन लाइन से बढ़ानी पड़ी थी। ऐसी सिचुएशन लीगल सिस्टम में 1947 के बाद नहीं आई थी। तो अगर इस सिचुएशन में हम AI को कैसे यूज कर सकते हैं आपदा में या किसी तरह की परेशानी में, तो एक लीगल प्रोफेशन में ही आया है। दूसरी चीज, एक सभी हमारे जो यहाँ पे पार्टिसिपेंट थे सबकी आशंका ये है कि जो डेटा या AI का यूज जो हो रहा है, उसमें क्रिएटर है उसकी जो बायसनेस है, उसकी पर्सनल बायसनेस है, उसकी सोशल बायसनेस है, उसकी इथिकल बायसनेस है, उसकी इथनिक बायसनेस है, वो कैसे स्क्रूटनी हो, वो कैसे रेक्टिफाइड हो, ये बड़ा मुश्किल है। सब लोग बोले कि रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी किसकी हो। यदि किसी के एक आम आदमी जो थोड़ा कम स्किल्ड है टेक्निकली, जैसे हम कम जानते हैं तो बड़ा डरते हैं कि बैंक का अकाउंट न बताएं, अकाउंट में पैसा कम रखें नहीं तो ये हो जाएगा, ये साइबर सिक्योरिटी या ये सब जो रीजन आ रहे हैं, तो ये खैर उसका नहीं है। लेकिन जो डाटा प्रोटेक्शन या डाटा प्राइवेसी की बात आ रही है, समझ रहे हैं ना, तो उसमें ये सब दिक्कतें आ रही कि किस तरीके से हों। एक अभी रिसर्चर से उनसे बात हो रही थी कि अगर अक्सर नॉर्थ ईस्ट के रीजन में, उत्तर पूर्व के राज्यों में सैकड़ों की संख्या में चाइना के या वहां से स्किल्ड सिम के आधार पे बैंक रफ्ती का काम या ये बैंक का जो आपका फोन जाता है, ये सारी चीजें जो है बैंक अकाउंट हैक कर ले रहे हैं। तो ये बड़ी दिक्कत है कि इसमें इन्वॉल्वमेंट किसका है। एक प्रश्न मेरे मन में आया कि अक्सर मेरा बैंक अकाउंट हैक होने का डर रहता है, और एक बार प्रयास भी किया, आपसे बता रहे हैं, हमने इसीलिए मोबाइल सैमसंग का लिया। लोग बताए कि इसमें थोड़ा सा वो पासवर्ड वगैरह इजी गोइंग में नहीं देना, ऐसा बताए, मतलब हमें कुछ पता नहीं है। तो इसमें अवेयरनेस भी बहुत कम है। एआई के जो नुकसान हो सकते हैं, जो निगेटिव एस्पेक्ट है, उसमें अवेयरनेस बहुत कम है। इसको हैंडल कैसे करेंगे, इसका मिसयूज ज्यादा हो रहा है। एक जो पार्टिसिपेंट ने बताया कि पॉलिटिकल, रश्मि सिन्हा थी या जो भी थी जो बिहार से, उसने बताया कि पॉलिटिकल जो आजकल यूज हो रहा है, एक मतलब कि हैट फैलाने के लिए या घृणा फैलाने के लिए भी बहुत हो रहा है। एक कास्ट बेसिस पे कभी हो रहा है, रिलीजन बेसिस पे हो रहा है। हम न्यूज को भी रेक्टिफाई नहीं कर पा रहे हैं, और किसी के डीप फेक को कहाँ यूज कर दे रहे हैं, बोल कुछ आप रहे हैं, उसको मतलब पेस्ट कुछ और कर दिया गया है। तो उसको कैसे, हमने शुरुआत में ही बोला था कि कोई फिलहाल कंक्लूजन यही निकल के आया, जो एग्जिस्टिंग लीगल सिस्टम है, जो किसी तरीके से इंफॉर्मेशन टेक्नोलॉजी एक्ट पे है या आईपी एक्ट पे है या अन्य चीजों पे एविडेंस में है, उसको किस तरीके से एक फाइंड आउट करके आवे कि जो क्रिएटर हो इस तरह का डीप फेक का या जो मिसयूज कर रहा है, उसको पनिशमेंट कैसे करें। अब दिक्कत ये कि जैसे कहा कि गूगल ने एक इथिकल गाइडलाइन इशू किया। देखिए, जहां पे इथिकल सोसाइटी होती है, इथिकल सेल्फ रेगुलेटिंग नहीं होता है, वहां पे इथिक्स तो देखिए पीएनडीटी एक्ट में भी है। तो एक स्टूडेंट्स हर्ष या अन्या सिंह किसने कहा मुझे नहीं मालूम, जहां तक मुझे याद आता है, कहा कि डिफरेंट प्रोफेशन के लिए डिफरेंट इथिकल गाइडलाइन होनी चाहिए। तो मैं ये चाहता हूं कि ये कम से कम होना चाहिए, लेकिन फिर वही बात आती है कि इथिकल गाइडलाइन तो इशू है, डाउरी प्रोहिबिशन एक्ट के लिए भी है, पीएनडीटी एक्ट के लिए भी है कि कोई भी मेडिकल सेंटर या डायग्नोस्टिक सेंटर है, कोई भी प्री नेटल डायग्नोस्टिक ना करे फीमेल फोटेस का, राइट, या किसी भी फोटो। लेकिन आप बताइए क्या फॉलो हो रहा है कि नहीं हो रहा है? नहीं हो रहा है, राइट। तमाम तरह की ऐसी चीजें इवन लीगल सिस्टम में है कि इथिकल गाइडलाइन तो अब तो जुडिशरी के लिए भी इशू करना चाहिए, है कि नहीं, इवन टीचर्स के लिए भी करना चाहिए, एजुकेशनल इंस्टीट्यूट के भी करना चाहिए कि ये। लेकिन इथिकल गाइडलाइन जो सेल्फ कहने को तो फंडामेंटल ड्यूटीज है, चल रहा है कि नहीं, लेकिन बताइए फंडामेंटल ड्यूटीज को कितना हम लोग कर रहे हैं, फॉलो कर रहे हैं कि नहीं कर रहे हैं, सिर्फ ड्यू टू द मतलब कि नॉन इन्फोर्सेबल मतलब इफेक्ट होने के कारण। तो बात यही आती है कि मोस्ट ऑफ द स्टूडेंट्स का कंक्लूजन यही आया कि एक इथिकल गाइडलाइन होनी चाहिए। तो हमें लगता है कि इससे कोई सोल्यूशन नहीं निकल पाएगा। कुछ जो ऑनलाइन में प्रेजेंटेशन दे रहे थे, उन्होंने ये भी कहा कि एक सॉफ्टवेयर ऐसा हो। तो ये सही है कि चूंकि ये कंप्यूटर साइंस का चीज है, और ये गूगल, फेसबुक, इंस्टाग्राम, ट्विटर पे जिस पे हम पोस्ट करते हैं, वहां पे ऐसा एक सॉफ्टवेयर बनना चाहिए। मेरी समझ से ये कंक्लूजन कि वो इस तरह की पोस्ट ना करें आप, क्योंकि आपका थंब, आपकी रेटिना उसमें आधार की वजह से डाटा प्रोटेक्शन या एक तरीके से ग्लोब में है, ग्लोबल या इन्वायरमेंट में है या ग्लोबल कह सकते हैं डेटा में है। तो जब आपका कोई चीज पोस्ट करना चाहे तो वो वहां पे कट एंड पेस्ट ना हो। फेसबुक पे कोई इस तरह की चीज हम डालना चाहें, खासतौर से पिक्चर से रिलेटेड हो, तो ये इस तरीके से चीजें ना हो। और जहां तक इन राइटिंग में आता है, तो उसको एक्चुअल को लोग फेक फेसबुक आईडी फेक बना करके पैसे मांगने लगते हैं, ये सब चीजें हैं। तो इसको कैसे किया जाए, अभी कोई सिस्टम नहीं आ पाया। अक्सर हर पीड़ित आपके फेसबुक पे दिखाई देता होगा कि मेरा ये फेक आईडी बना लिए हैं, आप लोग पैसे न दे मतलब। अब आप बताइए कि इसको कैसे है। तो ये एआई का यूज अभी देखा जाए तो मिसयूज ज्यादा आया है, और पूरे आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस को हम अभी समझने में थोड़ा सा वो कम कर पा रहे हैं। और खासतौर से चूंकि एजुकेशन सिस्टम ही इतना मतलब काफी स्लो चल रहा है, पार्टिसिपेशन कम है लोगों तक पहुंच करके। लेकिन एक चीज तो जरूर है कि इससे डिस्टर्बेंस, सोशल डिसऑर्डर, डिस्टर्बेंस, जैसा कि एक हमारी पार्टिसिपेंट थी, उसने बताया कि सेक्सुअल हरासमेंट या सेक्सुअल मतलब ये सब चीज भी, एक्सप्लॉयटेशन भी हो रहा है। तो आजकल सोशल मीडिया से स्टॉकिंग का काम, शायद इसको इंक्लूड किया गया है कि यदि जो पहले पीछा करने का काम या स्टॉकिंग काम यदि सोशल मीडिया से भी करते हैं तो ये भी पनिशमेंट शायद किया गया है कि नहीं अमेंडमेंट के द्वारा। तो इन सब चीज़ों पे भी ध्यान देने की जरूरत है कि किस तरीके से इसको रेगुलेट करें। और जैसा कि मैं बता रहा हूं कि एविडेंस एक्ट, आईपीसी और सीआरपीसी से लेके सभी चीज़ें, लॉ एक डायनेमिक सब्जेक्ट है और लीगल चैलेंजेस लॉ के सामने आएंगे और आ रहे हैं। और चूंकि आप स्टेक होल्डर हैं, आप यंग लॉयर हैं फ्यूचर के, तो इन सभी समस्याओं से आप पीछे नहीं हट सकते हैं। तो हम यही कोशिश करेंगे कि अपने इस डिस्कशन को फिर आगे कभी न कभी बढ़ाते रहें और इन सब चीज़ों को ध्यान देते हुए कि साइंटिफिक बेसिस पे और लीगल बेसिस पे असिस्टेंस लेते हुए किस तरीके से उसको रेक्टिफाई कर सकें, स्क्रूटनी कर सकें और इसका हम यूज भी करें और मिसयूज को कैसे रोका जाए, इसके लिए अवेयरनेस मतलब थोड़ा सा ध्यान देने की ज़रूरत भी है और लोगों को बताने की भी ज़रूरत है मतलब। तो इसी के साथ मैं यहाँ की टीम और यहाँ पे अश्विनी जी का और हमारे सब जो लोग बैठे हुए हैं और ग्रामांचल के आदरणीय प्राचार्य जी भी बैठे हुए हैं, एआई का यूज़ कर रहे हैं मोबाइल से सामने ही बैठ करके, मतलब जो है यूज़ कर रहे हैं कि मिसयूज़ कर रहे हैं ये आइडेंटिफाई करना मुश्किल हो जाता है। हाथ में किसी के मोबाइल, जो टेक्नोलॉजी इतनी पॉपुलराइज हो गई है, समझ नहीं मेरी बात, आपके हाथ में मोबाइल यूज़ कर रहे हैं एआई है कि नहीं, तो ये बड़ा मुश्किल है कि आप करेंगे कैसे आइडेंटिफाई जो है, तो ये कैसे संभव है। इस तरीके से कोई सॉफ्टवेयर अगर बनता है तो उसका वेलकम किया जाना चाहिए, नहीं तो गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया को या आईटी या इंफॉर्मेशन टेक्नोलॉजी एक्ट को रेकमेंड किया जाना चाहिए। मैं चाहूंगा कि अश्विनी जी अपनी रिकमेंडेशन एक डिटेल में बना करके स्टूडेंट्स के मतलब सपोर्ट के साथ, पेपर प्रेजेंटर के सपोर्ट के साथ, उनके सजेशन के साथ ज़रूर भेजें और हमें लगता है कि वो कहीं ना कहीं एक्सेप्ट या उसको कहीं ना कहीं उसको रखेंगे मतलब। और आजकल इस तरीके से इन मिनिस्ट्री के साइट्स पे सजेशंस के लिए ब्लॉग भी खुले हुए हैं। तो इन्हीं सब बातों के साथ अपनी बाणी को विराम देंगे और आप लोग को साधुवाद और शुभकामनाएं प्रेषित करते हैं हम अपनी तरफ से। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
धन्यवाद सर।
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद सर। और एज वी आर रनिंग शॉर्ट ऑफ टाइम, सो विदाउट वेस्टिंग अ सेकेंड इस कार्यक्रम के अंतिम पड़ाव में आते हैं और मैं निवेदन प्रस्तुत करना चाहूँगा टीआरसी लॉ कॉलेज के प्रवक्ता मोहम्मद अमजद अंसारी सर से कि वो इस सत्र की सह अध्यक्षता कर रहे डॉक्टर अश्विनी कुमार गुप्ता जी को स्मृति चिन्ह और अंगवस्त्र प्रदान कर उनका धन्यवाद ज्ञापित करें। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद सर। और इसी क्रम में मैं अतिथि के रूप में हमारे बीच में उपस्थित डॉक्टर अजय कुमार तिवारी सर, प्राचार्य ग्रामांचल विधि महाविद्यालय से ये निवेदन प्रस्तुत करना चाहूँगा कि इस सत्र की अध्यक्षता कर रहे और अयोध्या से हमारे बीच में चलकर आए डॉक्टर अजय कुमार सिंह सर, जो कि एसोसिएट प्रोफेसर हैं के साकेत पीजी कॉलेज में, उनको स्मृति चिन्ह प्रदान कर उनका सम्मान प्रकट करें, उनका आभार प्रकट करें। और अंगवस्त्र प्रदान करने की भी मैं निवेदन प्रस्तुत करूंगा डॉक्टर अजय सर से। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद सर हमारे इस बहुत अल्प समय में किए गए निवेदन को स्वीकार करने के लिए और हमारे बीच में उपस्थित होने के लिए बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। और इसी के साथ मैं ऑफिशियली ये अनाउंस इस सत्र को वाइंड अप करता हूं और आप सभी पार्टिसिपेंट्स, अतिथियों से, फैकल्टी मेंबर्स से और स्टूडेंट्स से एक रिक्वेस्ट है कि आप सभी के लिए लंच का अरेंजमेंट है रूम नंबर 2 में। आप वहाँ अपना लंच लेकर और वापस 12:30 के साथ 12:30 बजने के साथ वापस इसी कक्ष में उपस्थित हों। धन्यवाद।